See, the year that Raymond Moody was born was a very long year. So he's about 10 years older than we are. It is strange that when you look at old people that are your age, you wonder what happened. But I like leaving things the same. I liked it when we got back to Monterey and we looked at Judith's office and we looked at my office and I said, that's just about perfect. She said, we have to actually pack all this stuff. I said, no, we don't. It all fits here. It works here. And then after about 8 hours of moving up and down all those staircases and everything in the trailer, I said, I think things would like to stay in this trailer. I don't think they want to be taken out. Let's just buy the trailer. So I'm not resistant to change, but my experience has been that change requires some amount of work. I'm opposed to work. There's a lot of things that Judith has asked me to do that I have very successfully said, that's on my list. She said then she'll say things like, well, what do you need to actually get that done? A tool. What kind of tool? I'm not sure. It's going to be some investigating to look for the tool that might be the right tool to do this 3-minute job you have in mind. And I've just noticed in the last year, it's just gotten so much easier when she says, could you do this, to say, let me stop what I'm doing right now and let's just go do it. Let's just do the thing that needs to be done next. Because actually waiting until later because you like leaving things the way they are just has you have in the back of your mind this, there's something back there I was supposed to do. Oh my goodness, there's lots of stuff back there I was supposed to do. Let's just do the next thing in front of you the way it needs to get done. The next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then watch what happens. The myth that the thing that you're asked to do will become impossible dissolves in the face of the success you've had at actually doing something and getting it done and having it work. I used to think that most things could be fixed with duct tape. You could often even paint the duct tape, and after a while it wouldn't know it was duct tape and it would act like a wall. In the long run, you really have to be willing to step up to the thing that needs to be done in your life. Take off the duct tape and decide you're going to do it. And it just isn't that difficult. And that's the big surprise. I was surprised at 1:45 when we got home Friday night, that I actually could still walk. And I'll tell you something else that was really surprising. It's the first time I've driven in a long time, 5.5 hours, and every single car on the road passed me. When you're pulling a trailer, everybody passes you. I thought, wow, this is interesting. So, and I kept wanting to speed up because it was new for me to go so slow. And something else happened when I was going that slow. Life just kept occurring the way it had always been occurring, and it didn't have to go at a particular speed to have a life. Some of us have a myth that if you're not going at a certain speed, you're missing it all. Actually, you can live at whatever speed you're living at. Do whatever you need to do that's next, and then watch what happens. Now, Judith was referencing our joy in being here. I was just a little disappointed because we'd been here for 2 weeks. All of you are wonderful. The church is beautiful. And then suddenly, the truth shows up. This looks like a yard sale. I came into my office and I said, what happened? I guess the honeymoon is over. The sanctuary is full of stuff. The whole parking lot's full of stuff. The people are working so hard, they're hardly talking to each other because they're working. I said, this is not what we signed up for. So this is not, I cannot believe that you actually put it together again today, that this looks like a church. And that you had a tremendously successful sale. I say you, I didn't do much to make this one happen. I was pretty much out of town as long as I could be. No, I mean, couldn't help it. What an extraordinary thing. What an extraordinary thing to take what is, transform it completely, have everybody jump into the new experience, participate in it fully, then bring it back to the way it was, and have everything be just like it was, and everything is different. If you think about that, you can change everything, and then everything is different when you go back to the way it was before. Things have just simply changed. Consciousness changes. That's the most exciting thing about it. Now, back a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, when I did a lot of counseling, I counseled a couple who loved to fight. It was the most intimate thing they did. They did it a lot. And I said, why do you do this so much? And they said, oh, we've always done it. And, well, what about before that? Well, my parents did it too. I said, oh, okay, so you have traditional fighting. And you've learned how to do it. And they said, we're not happy with it, but we've always done it that way. I said, well, what if in the middle of one of your arguments you simply stop? Well, who would do it? I said, preferably the one who thinks that he or she is winning. Stop. I don't think we can do that. Well, then it was only about 6 months later that I was in the middle of one of my better arguments where I was actually winning, and in a relationship that is now way past argument. It's now gone. But I was winning. I knew my point. My point was worth fighting for right to the very death. You ever have an argument like that? And the phone rang. Hi, it's Bob. My voice changed. Everything changed. I had a 5-minute conversation. Everything was perfect. I hung up. I said, okay, where was I? And she wouldn't tell me. But what I couldn't believe was how possible it was to completely stop the argument or fight and literally disconnect from it and come back and be different. New beginnings can happen every time something comes up that you've normally had a reaction to, and you decide, I'm going to do this one differently.